Guys, welcome back to Oliver Smith Watches. I am George. This is Ryan. Today we're going to undertake the daunting task of trying to rank Rolex models. We're going to do it a little differently though. We're going to take each one of the main pillars, kind of pick our favorite and our least favorite, and see if we agree or disagree. So let's see how this goes. Ryan, which one do you want to talk about first?
Might as well start off with Daytona, right?
So you're reaching right for the top.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. Might as well. So.
I think we could both agree that for most collectors, Daytona is the pinnacle.
Yes, absolutely. Hardest one to get, usually. I mean, it's the one on usually everybody's wish list.
Yeah, and it's the one whenever I see it out there, there's a story to be told.
Yeah,
it's not even so much like how did you afford it or anything like that. It's who do you know, how'd you get it.
Yes, exactly.
So I like that a lot. Now, what's your favorite Daytona?
So actually, mine has just changed. It used to be the yellow gold green dial John Mayer.
Great watch.
I love that watch. I actually liked it before John Mayer even said anything about it. I wasn't one of those guys that jumped on it right after he, did that video. But I thought that watch was beautiful. We actually had a couple during 2020, and I got to wear one around for like 6 months. It was amazing. But it actually just changed because I just saw this in person for the first time, the Le Mans Daytona.
Okay, so we're going to be the same on that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the pictures don't do it justice. It is a much better watch in person. The subtle, 100 being in red, the Paul Newman-esque dial, or again, sub-dial, should I say.
There's always a story behind it. We didn't even tell you guys about this. I had kind of begged in a couple of videos that if anybody has a Le Mans, please bring it. I'd love to see it.
The Le Mans edition Daytona.
Best watch ever.
I still want to see in person. That watch looks amazing.
Yeah, if you have one, please travel here. I would love to see it.
Please.
And met these two absolutely wonderful brothers. One of them had one. They took the drive. It's like a 4-hour drive to come up and see us to show us this watch. So so you know who you are, and thank you very much, because that was, to say it was good would be an understatement. It was better than I hoped.
Yes.
I didn't even realize it from the backside. I guess you can see it in pictures, but exhibition back for those of you who don't know.
Yep.
And the only thing I can liken it to is when you were in your early 20s and your girlfriend's going to come over and you clean up your house real quick. Like, they cleaned the movement. They made it look good, which I kind of had expected them to just leave it pedestrian. It's such a Rolex thing where it's like, oh my God, they're going to see it, So they kind of cleaned it up there, and it is absolutely phenomenal. But I don't think we can make that our number one. Simply because it's too unobtainium.
Of course, yeah.
Man. So I'm going to throw you for a loop there, but I'm going to give you my other than Le Mans favorite. It is that new white gold bezel black dial.
Oh, so the non-Le Mans Daytona?
Basically, yes.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
But that was the one I saw last year at Geneva, and I think I even talked about it as one of my favorites of the year. And it was one of those moments where you're looking and your head stays and your body keeps going, and you come back around. It's like, that is the most amazing watch, and bit of a sleeper.
Yeah, kind of under the radar.
You know what? And you're right. It is like the Le Mans because there is a bit of a nostalgia hit. It reminds me of the Daytonas I grew up with, 70s, 80s, 90s. It was just that simpler look to it, and maybe not having the ceramic bezel, I kind of liked.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the tough question: what Daytonas do we not like?
I'm going to go with the Tiger Dial diamond piece. Not really a fan of that watch, to be honest with you.
It's specific.
It's very specific. I mean, hey, if you like it, go ahead and grab it, but not for me.
Yeah, I remember having 20 of them at Tourneau, and we couldn't.
The traveling trunk show. I remember that as well. Yeah.
Mine's going to be a little bit more controversial, and I'm just saying this right now. This may change.
Right.
I'm not feeling the new Panda. I've seen it multiple times now, and there's something about the thinner rings. It looks bloated to me.
It looks weird, yeah.
And I've had one in each hand, and please, if you haven't, don't take offense to this, or light me up in the comments. But but for right now, I'm just not feeling that watch. But I like it in black, so I don't know. This might change down the road. Right now, I'm liking it to BMW with the huge nostrils that I hated initially. Now it's like I kind of don't care.
Right.
So maybe I'll soften on this later on, but not my favorite.
I will always not like the Tiger Daytona.
Facts. What do I want to do next?
GMT.
GMT.
Yeah, GMT Master 2, right? Might as
GMT
well.
Master
I mean,
2.
you own one, so.
I do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump and say this one's my favorite.
I like it.
But it's also discontinued, so I don't know if that counts. And if they do that black gray and stainless steel on a Jubilee like I want you to, Rolex, if you're listening, they're not listening, I might change that whole game. But right now, it's the black green for me, for sure.
I'm actually going to go with a new two-tone, the black and gray two-tone for the GMT Master 2.
Two-tone over the gold.
Two-tone over the gold.
Okay.
Just because it was one of those watches when I was a kid, I would see that on you know, guys that were like the NFL, NBA, or whatever it may be, and it was the older version of that watch, but I was like, man, that watch is so cool. Jubilee bracelet, the whole thing.
Nostalgia hit.
And then they brought it back and made it modern. I love that watch. I think it's great.
Now, this might make you mad. I still don't like the lefty. I said it from the beginning. I call that one the Riddler because it's still full of question marks to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the why. The engineering was lazy.
Well, I mean, they just flipped a movement upside down. So.
Yep. Didn't try too hard on that one. Do you have one you don't like?
This might be controversial, but it's not like I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just think I see it too often, and it's the Pepsi. It's just one of those ones where I probably wouldn't grab one just because. I mean, you could say that with any watch. You could say that with any watch, but just me being in this industry and seeing it every day, I would want something different, like the black gray, and I'm sure a lot of people in the comments are gonna be like, Ryan's an idiot.
I think over the years, Pepsi got a little bit confused between the white gold and the steel and the dials, and it really did muddy the waters.
Now, I would take a meteorite white gold Pepsi,
absolutely,
right? But I don't know, just the common one, I don't know if I would do, like maybe white gold blue, white gold meteorite, something like that. But
all right, fair.
The basic one, probably not.
I can see that. See that. All right, where are we going to next?
Submariner?
Sub.
Yeah,
all right.
might as well go into a sub. What's your favorite?
For me, right off the bat, it's going to be date or no date, but it's standard sub. So I'm going to go date. Date sub is probably just my favorite. And I know that nothing exotic there. But I've kind of, people rely on us for information, and I've kind of always had this underlying tenet where if you're only going to have one watch for the rest of your life, Submariner.
Yeah.
To be specific, it would probably be the 41, the newer sub, as opposed to the maxi case. Although I love the maxi case in the GMT, but I like the curvature of the 41. They brought it back to a round one. Yeah. So I'm going to go with that for now. Yours?
I'm actually going to go with the Cookie Monster. So blue bezel, black dial, white gold sub.
Yeah.
I just think it's a good looking watch, to be honest with you. I know it's super slept on. It goes under retail, I believe, but I like it. I like the color combo. It's kind of like the Batman, but like leveled up. Obviously not a GMT, but like that color combo, basically.
Well, and there's a little bit of if you know, you know.
Yes, correct.
It's
a sleeper,
and
right?
I dig that a lot. Yeah, for sure.
I do like that one.
Least favorite.
Oh man, jeez.
It's hard with a sub, I know.
It is. I would probably go, just off the top of my head, first thing I think of is probably yellow gold, blue dial with the diamond dial. Probably.
Like one of the 30s?
Almost like trying too hard, doing too much type thing with the Submariner. I don't know.
Taking a tool watch and trying to do that.
And trying to fancify it. Like, I would probably go with obviously the white gold version of it, but like not the diamond dial. Like, it's a Submariner. It's a dive watch. Like, I don't need all that stuff underwater. Like, not that I'm going to use that anyways, but.
You know what sub I've never liked?
What's that?
The Hulk.
Here comes the comment section.
Maxi case, which was always jarring to me. Something about that fall off from the case to the bracelet I couldn't stand. But having this, and there's subtle variances through the years, I know. But like this glossy sunburst green dial with this flat bezel, multiple greens. It just, I always hated that watch. I couldn't wait for them to discontinue it. And then when it did get discontinued, there was all these guys online with like suitcases full of them,
Right.
And just skyrocketed in value. And I still, it's my line of work, so I still see the value in the watch, but it was always jarring to my eye. I never liked that watch.
Oh man.
All right, next category.
Let's go with the discontinued one, Milgauss.
The Gauss.
Yeah,
man.
the Gauss. Let's go with that. I know my favorite. I'm gonna go with the white and orange.
You always liked that one.
I do. I'm a Suns fan.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where I could wear that to a Suns game. It would look great with anything. It's kind of the slept-on one. The one you
and it's so funny because normally all of those things I would completely agree with you. That's why it's the one I don't like. It was discontinued early, and frankly, I understand why.
Yeah.
It was jarring and ugly and hard on the eye, and a complete outlier. Although there were a lot of lighter dials in the original.
Correct. Yeah.
Going way back. Yeah. I mean, for me, the one I like the most would just be the black non-green. Yeah. So kind of the flip of yours. Yep. You know, I get that, but what's the one you hate the most? Oh,
the blue.
Yeah.
The blue. It's Blue Z. It's too much going. Yeah, it's too much going on. It's blue, it's green, it's orange, it's all these different things where, yeah, if you're an Aquaman fan, I mean, yeah, grab that watch, but...
There's been a few watches Rolex has done over the year when I first saw it in print.
Yeah.
I thought it was a joke, and that was also one of them.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
Leading into Yachtmaster 2.
Oh.
Because when I first saw the Yachtmaster 2, man, it dropped in print on April 1st, and I was like, oh wow, Rolex has a sense of humor. And then I saw it live, and I went, oh no, they did that? So I don't think I can like a Yachtmaster 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I have a favorite on that.
I don't think there's a generation. I don't think there's a medal involved. No. It's just not my favorite watch. I do. For a while, it was the largest watch Rolex made.
Correct. Yeah.
And for sure, the largest watch Rolex made in a noble metal. So if there were one to like for those reasons, man, the yellow gold Yacht 2 was a statement.
Yeah.
If you had one of those, you were a baller.
It was a flex.
It was a flex.
Absolutely.
Yep. And most of the guys I know who had one didn't know how to set it, didn't know what it did, didn't know how to wind it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was just a big old 44 millimeter hunk of gold on your wrist, and for that, I tip the hat.
Yes.
Now, Yachtmaster.
I'm gonna have to go with the original. That was actually my first Rolex.
It was your first Rolex.
So it's the platinum dial, platinum bezel, red seconds hand. I even had the one with the old clasp. Wasn't even the modern version of it. So the 5-digit reference. But I really do like that watch. I know it gets a lot of hate. It's kind of a very slept on watch, but it was my first one, and I do like it. So
I always felt Yacht 1 never really found a home.
Yeah.
It was like a Datejust case on a sport watch. It just swam between the worlds. If I had to pick a least favorite, I'm sorry, it's your favorite.
That's okay.
But again,
that's usually everybody's least favorite, to be honest with you.
It's the one most associated. That's one of the times I really like the ceramic bezel, the carved ones.
Yeah.
You could give me any of the white gold variants in that.
Oh, the 42s.
I'd be really happy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But my favorite, and it's still one I haven't seen or held live, and this is going to be really weird, is the Falcon Eye.
Oh, the Falcon Eye, yeah.
That Falcon Eye dial is just phenomenal. It's just enough interest without being overwhelming. I've seen it multiple times in Geneva now, and it doesn't photograph right. I can't film it. I can't describe it. So I need to see one and show it to you.
Right. Yes.
But that would by far be my favorite yacht. And I'm sorry about yours. I loved yours on you.
Oh no, totally.
I loved yours on you.
Oh, thanks.
Datejust.
I'm gonna go with mine, to be honest with you, as my favorite.
Oh yeah. So Ryan got a new toy.
Yep. So I got a new Datejust. Not new, but it's an older one. But it's kind of cool because it's a 9 dial. They actually didn't radial flip the numbers on the one side, so
it is the little quirks sometimes.
And it all glows, which I like. You know, on the newer ones or the Wimbledons, it's all Roman and it has like one stick number that glows, and I don't like that as much.
Yeah.
But I do actually really like this watch, to be honest.
Yeah, you have
kind of biased.
You bonded with that one for sure. I've always liked 41.
Yep.
Blue stick.
This has been your watch forever.
Fluted on Oyster.
Yep.
I just think that's a really good, perfect watch. And again, could be an only watch.
Yep. You are wearing the perfect suit color right now.
Yep. And I usually do.
Yep.
It is one you can dress up, cargo shorts. You know, if you're old, something cooler if you're not. But it kind of goes with everything. You could wear it. I could wear it. It's intergenerational. Just kind of that perfect watch. As for ones I don't like, there are too many to count.
Correct. Yes.
That watch has been made for so many years and so many variants and so many horrible. I never liked that Target dial they did with the circles and.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So many bad versions of that watch. But when you've done 1,000 variants, you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss a lot.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's someone that's out there that loves that variant of that watch, right? So like me with the Yachtmaster.
Yeah. Should we go into Air King? No, there's only one version now.
Well, there was 2 versions. I do prefer the newer version, or the newer case over the older case, because that older case was kind of, what was it, like basically the Milgauss case?
Yeah, well, and dovetailing back to Yachtmaster, they put it into a sport realm.
Yep.
They made the decision now it's a sports watch. I commend them for that. I really
I do like the pops of colors on the newer versions as well. I mean, obviously, if you want to go way back to the older era Kings, those are all a little bit too small, at least for me, my size. I'm about 6'4". So, but yeah, that newer version, that's the only one I would do.
I'm going to reserve judgment on the Explorer simply until they decide what size they want to do.
Well, I'll tell you guys my favorite Explorer 2 at least. So I've actually owned an Explorer 2.
You have.
The newest reference in the black dial, so the 226570 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one, it's a great watch, great sleeper watch. I wore it on many vacations. Nobody knows you're wearing a Rolex. That's why I liked it. But my favorite version of that watch, you'd have to go back a number of years, and it was actually the mess up cream dial. And give me one with tritium on it, where they start turning all pumpkiny. Like, I would kill to have that watch. It's such a good watch.
And like yours, even then, if a good white with black surrounds came up, I would like to own that as well.
Yes.
So we're in complete agreement on that. I think that was one of the best Explorer 2s they ever made.
By far, yeah.
And then we can do OP.
OP. Well, OP41 yellow for me would be my favorite, to be honest with you. I'm an ASU fan as well.
Sure.
It kind of matches that color quite perfectly. Sorry to all the U of A guys out there, but
I really liked the coral in that same line. The
coral's good, man.
Discontinued high colored pops.
Yep.
I passed on it twice because I thought it was too expensive at the time. Just kept going up and up and up. So sometimes we make bad decisions. But I passed on it at like 13.5. Least favorite,
I don't mind.
So the ones before the high colors. And it was the 39 millimeter. It was that purple.
The red grape.
The red grape. Yeah. And I know it was like a Hodinkee darling, and Ben Clymer absolutely loved it. I couldn't get there with that watch.
Yeah.
And looking back, I see where the seeds were sown for the high colors, because for me, sure, the best thing they've ever done for me is that celebration dial. I need that in my life. If you can get me one, get me one. It just made me smile. I really liked that. Your least favorite?
Probably from that same kind of line where that red grape came from, but that blue with the green dots around.
The one I was wearing for the past couple of days?
Yep, that one. Sorry, I didn't want to say anything. Actually, you're wearing the perfect combination for that one today.
I am. But, that's funny.
I don't like that. Like, it seems very, I don't know, cheesy to me or something like that. Like that weird pops of green.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the one out of that whole line where you see the high color pops more than the others.
More than the other, and I just don't like it. Like, that's just one that I've never liked. So.
It's something real quick we haven't talked about. The 1908.
I haven't even seen one in person.
Because I'm not even sure if Cellini's really part of the line anymore. It seems like it's discontinued, and rest. It's good. It's good to not have that around. And I said this, I think, in a thing with Elizabeth. I always felt Cellini was Rolex trying to do somebody else's watch, and it never made sense to me other than to complete a collection if you wanted to stay a Rolex guy. Man, the 1908 from across the room, you go, that's a Rolex.
Right.
Something about the design lexicon translated really well on that watch.
I do like the hands on it.
Yep.
But yes, I want to see one in person. So if you have one, please bring one in.
I can't wait for you to see one of those live.
Yeah, because I do really want to see one. So I don't really have an opinion on one yet.
Yep.
But yeah, I do want to see one. But we can't forget Sea Dweller. That's one we can't forget.
Sure.
So Sea Dweller 43 for me, steel with the red lettering.
Oh, sure, the anniversary.
I love that watch. Yeah, it's a great one. But if I had to pick an old one, it would probably be the one that actually we have in the case right now, the 1665.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, the great white. Yeah, so that's a really good watch, and it's a better size, I think, to be honest with you. So
favorite Apology Dweller. Sea Dweller 4000.
Yeah.
It was the only 40 millimeter Dweller they did with a ceramic bezel, and it was a perfect watch. And it was short run, 3-4 years maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I would call it Apology Dweller because it was. And if you notice, we didn't really go into a deep sea because we're not gonna.
I don't like any of them. Yeah.
It was right after the deep sea came out, and the deep sea was wonky, and then right after that they came out with this 40 millimeter Dweller, and we always kind of called it the Apology Dweller because like, oh, we're so sorry, and then they kept up with the deep sea. This is going to get really weird. I don't think there is a Sea Dweller that I don't like. I don't have...
The two-tone 43?
Okay, if pressed, yes. I haven't spent enough time with it to really form an opinion. It is an outlier, and again, it's taking that simple tool watch and elevating it where maybe it shouldn't be.
Right, like unnecessarily. Yeah.
The owner of the boat kind of a thing.
I'm not jumping in the water, I guess.
Yeah. So if pressed, that would be the one, but even then, for a two-tone, it's still a good execution.
It is, yeah. That's true.
Okay, favorite day date?
Probably the one I wore to Laguna a couple of years ago, which was the platinum day date with the the Glacier Blue dial. I want to say that one was Roman, but if I had to pick, it would probably be the stick. Maybe even the motif dial, the newer one. That thing is gorgeous, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if I'm going to talk about a favorite date, it has to be in platinum.
Yeah, the weight, like it just feels so good. Like
it tricks your brain.
Yep.
You don't understand how heavy a platinum watch is till you see it, and it's just so satisfying. Oliver had one when we were in Las Vegas, and it was that quilted dial.
Oh yeah.
I think it might even be the 41. Was it the Day-Date too?
Maybe.
But I love that watch. I love that dial. And I remember that was the first time I really saw one in motion, gesticulating and talking, and the metal's so white, the metal's so perfect. You know what my least favorite's going to be. It's that puzzle emoji thing.
Oh, yeah.
And please forgive me. I know it's for a good cause and blah, 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 but I just couldn't help going, why? And maybe it wasn't even the puzzle. It was the emojis that got to me. It's a day-date.
And it doesn't show you day or date. Yeah.
And feel free to butcher me in the comments on that one. I know I might be on my own on that, but it's kind of maybe hoping I would come around to it too, and I just haven't.
Just can't. Yeah.
Yep.
My least favorite, and this might upset a lot of people because it's an older one. Anything with that like bark bracelet, the bark presidential bracelet. I think it is hideous looking.
And you've never had a chance to really wear one because they're an older guy's watch. Not only was it not that attractive, it absolutely chewed up your sleeves.
And it still isn't. Yeah, it's still not that attractive. I think it's a terrible look. If you have one, I'm sorry, but it is a terrible looking watch in my opinion. Never liked that one.
So, your guys' turn.
Yeah.
Favorites, the ones you hate, hating on our stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely
please.
love to hear from it. I want to know your opinion. If you are out and about in the Scottsdale area, please stop in and say hi. You can tell us to our face. If you happen to be down in Scottsdale Fashion Square, say hi to the boys down there. If you are fortunate enough to be up in Aspen, please say hi to Harry and Emery for us. Thanks for watching.